Hey everyone, this is Ashley with What's Up Under That. So, for those of you that are new and those that have been here for a while, Sundays are reserved for coffee and carpool or coffee and conversation. Pretty much what that is I do readings for the energy for the week just to see what you need to be prepared on, what are some things that you need to keep in mind, or just whatever my spirit guides me to talk about. Specifically for this one, I'm going to be honest with you guys. Originally, I wasn't going to post today just because I had a very exhausting week last week, and the thought of having to record a podcast episode just seemed very daunting. But last night I recorded an episode because it was just something I really needed to get off my chest and put out there about spiritual psychosis. And there was something else that I seen about hold on, let me see if I can go just about people having manic episodes and that being present during Gemini season. Now, I've been talking about that, with my best friend, and just really telling her Gemini season has a very, very high probability to do a number on your nervous system. If you have mental health issues that you've been dealing with, they could feel a little bit more prominent now. It's going to be very crucial for you to make it a priority to ground yourself, find healthy outlets to get all of that energy out. And then too, there's a lot of planetary expansion and alignment. So it's I think it's Jupiter. I don't know if it's Jupiter in Gemini or Jupiter in Taurus. Let me double check. Jupiter transit 2024. So Jupiter's in Gemini, so it was in Taurus. But with it being in Gemini, Jupiter rules higher learning, it rules luck, it rules expansion, it rules knowledge, and also too, because Jupiter rules over Sagittarius, and a lot of people may not know, Sagittarius is Gemini's sister sign. Sagittarius is kind of like that older brother or sister that's in college, and Gemini is the one that's in elementary school. It's like that age gap, so to speak. So there's also that common thing there. So it's with Gemini, with Jupiter being in Gemini, there's a lot for you to learn. There's a lot of things that are going to allow you to see stuff from a new lens in order for you to grow up. Because like Leo, Gemini can be very playful. Gemini can be very childish. Gemini sometimes has to learn respectfully speak when you're spoken to, and that's not so much in what some people may have experienced growing up as a childhood trauma, you're to be seen and not heard. It's literally mind your business and do not engage in shit that doesn't have anything to do with you, especially because Gemini is also the season of trickster energy. A lot of people are not in their right mind. A lot of people, especially that are not keeping up with their spiritual upkeep, can be or fall victim to what seems like manic episodes. A lot of you that may be on TikTok may be seeing that's something that's present with a lot of creators. I know there's a creator that I follow, Fanita, and a lot of people have been speaking about that with her. They've been speaking about it with other creators. So just be mindful. And the one thing my spirit kept telling me earlier is journal, whether it's you doing voice notes, whether it's you doing a video recording, whether you have a burner account and you're just getting everything out, whether you're just recording videos or whether you're actually writing or you're typing things in your notes. You need to get all of this shit out of your head, especially if you feel that you need to have conversations, because Gemini also, rules short distance trips, like the neighborhood, engaging with your neighbors, and things like that. So, especially if you are having close conversations with those around you, you need to write out what you're going to say to ensure that it's sensible, so there is no misunderstandings or miscommunications. So we're gonna pull some cards here just to see for this week, particularly in Gemini season, what are some things you need to be aware of? What are some things to be expected? One of the things aside from journaling that I heard is make sure your water intake is up this week, especially too if you plan on having difficult conversations with people. Make sure you're hydrated, because a lot of people don't really take that shit into consideration, and I know I have moments myself. When you are dehydrated, it completely alters your thought process. It alters your brain, it alters your mood, it alters your energy. You know, our body is 70% and some change water. So it's like in order for our organs and everything in our body as a whole to operate in the way it's supposed to, nutrients aside, we have to be drinking water. And not just any water, making sure, you're adding fruit to your water. You're drinking coconut water, adding a little bit of sea salt to your water, because truthfully, water is not as hydrating as we think it is. The water that they sell in bottles and all of that stuff has added minerals. And when minerals are added, our body only gets so much of what it needs, because let's be real, if it really had everything that we needed, do you really think we'd be drinking water as much as we drink it every day? Why do you think in those movies sometimes when people are like, and I've said this in previous episodes, when people are stranded on desert islands, why do you think people are a lot of times able to survive off of just fruit? And of course, I'm pretty sure they may be drinking ocean water, but the main thing you always see them eating is fruit, or they may catch it may just happen to be a wild boar or fish and they kill it, but primarily it's fruit, specifically high water fruit, because it's hydrating. So hydration is going to be key this week. Cleansing yourself, doing spiritual baths, doing foot baths, utilizing, if you have sprays, like room sprays, more so natural, because like I said, nervous system, fake chemicals, like try to keep things this week as natural as possible. If you can do it yourself and you have the energy to do it yourself, damn it, do it yourself. Try to avoid processed food this week. Making sure that you're staying hydrated. Stay away from dyes, and I'm hearing specifically red dye and yellow dye. I know from what I've done with research, red dye is linked to hyperactivity and things like that. So if you already deal with ADHD and things along that line, that is something that you really want to avoid this week. I'm also hearing too, if you deal with gastrointestinal issues like that, be mindful of red sauces this week. You could be a lot more prone to dealing with stomach issues, acid reflux disease, different things of that nature. So be very mindful of what it is that you're putting in your body. If something is telling you not to eat it or to get an alternative, even if it costs a little bit extra, it's better to pay for an actual price of something than to pay for the price of how that could fuck you up. So let's get into the actual reading. First cards that fell out is Ghost. I feel that, and Intuition. So right now, your spirit could be telling you this is a D&D week. Especially like I said in the very beginning, if you deal with mental health issues, if you deal with manic issues, I'm also hearing too, if your spirit is telling you not to engage in something, don't engage in it. Don't feel like you need to know the answers. You need to know why. Your spirit is guiding you not to engage in it. It's not your place. It's not your problem. Don't dig too deep in it. I thought there was going to be more to it than that, but that's as simple as that. Keep your phone on D&D. This is a time to really pour back into yourself. I know for me, and like I told a friend earlier, like, look, if I don't respond to you this week, it's not personal. I just have no energy to give anybody but myself and my child this week. Like, I completely dogged my energy out last week, and I haven't dogged my energy out like that, aside from like preparing for my child's birthday and everything. I have never dogged my energy out to the point where I've been sleepy for days, and no amount of sleep that I'm getting is replenishing me. So the best thing that you can do to replenish yourself is silence. You just need to be in silence. You need to slow down. While Gemini is governed by Mercury, communication, and all of those things, this energy is also giving like Mercury in retrograde as well, because I have been noticing there have been a lot of cars pulled over on the side of the road. There have been cars that have been dealing with issues with their tires, specifically with hubcaps. So if you've been suspecting you need to get your tires, checked, rotated, whatever it is, do that shit before you get on the road, because it's better. Like I said before, it's better for you to pay for it now than to pay for it later, because if you pay for it now, you're going to be paying double. You are going to be paying double than what you would have been paying originally. So be mindful of that. I was not expecting this message to be this deep. I'm like, I'm getting ready to just talk about mania and being mindful of your energy. The next card fell out as happiness. I think I said this in the very beginning, but tap into play. Tap into your inner child. What is it exactly that your inner child... Tap into what it is that your inner child needs and what your inner child wants. The happiness card, but specifically the one thing that I'm paying attention to is the color with this card, your root chakra. If there's a lot going on this week, tap into something that makes you feel safe, something that makes you feel secure, specifically with your nervous system. I know last night for myself, I felt like I was almost having an anxiety attack, and I've done a really good job at, navigating my anxiety and finding triggers and things of that matter. So last night I realized my anxiety attack was because I'm burnt out. I'm completely burnt out. And it's like my body was going haywire. It's almost kind of like with your phone. When your phone overheats, it starts acting crazy. It's freezing. It's glitching. And eventually, to preserve the battery, also known as your own battery in your body, it shuts down. So, even taking time, aside from having your phone on D&D, take some time to disconnect yourself from your cell phone. And I feel like too, there is going to be issues with technology this week. It could also be social media as well. So, and if it's not a worldwide thing, it could just be specific people, and that's just your spirit guiding you to disconnect and tune into the things that make you happy. Tap into reality, as some people would say, touch grass, So do that for yourself this week. The next cards that fell out is passion and determination. At the bottom of the deck is creativity. If you have something that you've been putting off that really, lights you up in time lights you up, really tap into that. I'm also hearing foraging. So get out in nature. If your inner child loves to collect things, whether it's leaves or rocks or feathers or things like that, do that. Really tap into that. I'm also hearing too, if you are into that type of thing, like with the fairies and the fays and stuff, leave them an offering at a tree. I've also been picking up heavily on birds. If you have birds that are in your area, leave them offerings. Leave food out specifically for crows, because of course birds period have a really good memory, but it's something about crows. Crows also are a symbolization of protection. So really tapping into that will be helpful. Connecting with animals, especially if you have animals at home, really connecting with them as well. So we're going to pull one more card here to see what else the spirit wants us to focus on. The next card here is strength. Now, for some reason from this energy, I get Leo. There could be a lot of inner child work that surfaces for you this week. It's going to call you to trust in yourself. Know that you have the strength to get through this week. Like I said, if you've dealt with mental health issues in the past, manic episodes, bipolar, whatever it is, or if you're on medication for any of these things and you feel like it's a possibility that the medication is not working, it's not that it's not working. It's just that your spirit wants you to pay more attention to what your body wants and what it needs and what it is that it's asking for. Like I said, whether that's drinking more water, working with water, period. Really cleansing yourself. If you feel guided to go on a fast this week, do so. If you feel guided to increase your water intake, aside from the other things I mentioned, coconut water is very hydrating. For me, primarily, I'll drink water if my coconut water isn't cold, because I cannot absolutely stomach it warm. But I notice when I drink coconut water, I don't go to the bathroom as much, and that's because my body is receiving the hydration it needs. I'm also hearing too, this week for you to rest. And as I wrap this up, I looked down at the trust card and I noticed at the center of the card is heart. Trust your heart. And Leo is the strength, heart of the lion type of thing. So listen to your heart this week. If you feel guided to listen to your head, of course, do so. Whatever works for you. But really tune into your heart. The answers that you need are there. Even if they don't feel logical, sometimes there is no logic in love. Not stupid love, but just love in general. So I really hope that helps you guys. Please take heed to this. If you feel like this message resonated or something clicked, please feel free to share it with people. I hope you have an amazing week. Stay hydrated, get some rest, say no, and I will talk to you guys soon. All right, bye.